I think I'll start waking the others. We might need all hands on deck for this one. Sounds like a plan. I'll go update Theo. Great. Grab your warmest clothes and we'll meet at the front door in 5. I nod and walk briskly back into the living room. I find Theo on the couch by the fire, leaning forward, paws clasped in front of him. Theo, good news. They agreed. That easy, huh? Guess all they had to do was hear it from someone besides me. Well, Rofi is a PA. He knows how to handle situations like these. Theo hesitates, then nods, his expression softening somewhat. Fair enough. Good that he's here, then. Let's help Rofi wake the others, and we can head out. With only the slightest bit of difficulty, we get everybody out of bed and downstairs in just a few minutes. The mood is muted due to the early hour, but tightly focused, all of us clearly ready to do what needs to be done. Okay, everybody, have your phones? We all nod. I'm guessing we'll need shovels once we get there. I have 2 sitting outside. They are plastic, but the metal ones are in the garage and we don't have time to dig them out. I have a metal one at my place. So do I. Great, you 2 go fetch those. Stick together, you never know what could happen in weather like this. Meet us at 27 as soon as you can. Got it. Sure. Theo nods once again and opens the door, ushering us into the bitterly blasting winds. The cold winter night. This is a cool little scene. I always love seeing out into the city. There's another tree crash down out there. That one has leaves on it. The rest don't. That's interesting. Oh, it's probably a pine tree. No wonder it fell over. Those fall over like a lot. It feels colder than ever before. As I take the door from Theo to let everyone out, I see Ollie shiver and pull his coat tighter around himself. Hunter gives me a smile and a nod, taking the door in turn from me. We file out onto what we think is the covered sidewalk. Artemis and Hunter head immediately for their houses, and Theo and I grab the shovels laying right next to the porch. The sheer volume of snow is almost unbelievable. Theo and Hunter's shoveling work from the previous day is basically unnoticeable. When I beheld it all 3 days ago, I felt wonder. Now I feel only fear and apprehension. The fierce wind whips the snow into uneven piles. Paths close to walls are the worst, with miniature hills heaped halfway up the sides of houses. Cars unfortunate enough to be left in the street are almost completely hidden, vague shapes in the expanse of white, punctured by the side mirrors or reflection of an exposed headlight. Nobody will be driving anywhere for quite a while. We trudge along in a single file, Theo at the vanguard, the rest of us following paths he makes. He does his best to pick the shallowest path where the snow is only knee-high at most. Oh, that's number 27 right there. Their little car. What does it say on there? Nagaram? It says Nagaram. That's weird. Finally, we arrive at 27, the wind tearing at our coats. Theo gestures towards a narrow passage leading to the backyard of the house. He shouts to make himself heard over the tempest. Their jackets. I love it. I love it. Then Ollie just getting fully covered up and still freezing. That's funny. Actually, you know what? If you want to see Theo here, let me take my face cam down for a second. This is the whole picture. Yeah. I like it. I like that. All right. Her apartment is back there. She lives in the back half of the house, and the folks in the front are out of town. So we can't go through the front? Theo shakes his head. I already tried. Her door's in the backyard. This is going to be trickier than I thought. Not only do the snow piles constrict the already narrow pathway, but the uphill entrance to said pathway is almost blocked by a submerged car. How the heck are we going to do this? Theo's head and ears start swiveling back and forth, taking in the scene. I can almost hear the gears in his brain. He gestures for us all to huddle up. Okay. She can't walk in this, and she'll never get down the driveway, let alone cross the street. I'll have to carry her out, but I don't want to risk that until we've cleared the path a little. Theo's eyes flicker to the house and then to Rofi. Rofi, I think you'd better be the one to check on her. I'll come with you to make sure she opens up, but after that, I'm leaving her to you, okay? Okay. His voice is steady, but I've known him too long to be fooled. Rofi is incredibly nervous, almost sweating despite the cold. Good. I'm counting on you, Rofi. I know. After a long moment of eye contact, Theo turns to me and Ollie. You two start shoveling. We'll need as much of the driveway cleared as possible. If we can get her keys and get her car out of the way, that'll be even better. Even if we have to put it in neutral and push it, every bit of space helps. I nod, glad to receive clear, direct instructions. Tell the other two the plan once they get here. I'll have them start clearing a path across the street to the Robinsons. Once I get you inside, Rofi, I'll be going across the street as well. I need to make sure Tom has everything ready. Maybe I can even get him off his ass to help shovel, though I doubt it. As soon as you've cleared a good enough path, I'm carrying her out, no matter what she says. Everyone clear on their jobs? Yes, sir. Yes. Rofi doesn't sound quite sure. Yes. Then let's get started. Clock's ticking. Ollie and I immediately dig into the driveway, but I keep one eye focused on Theo and Rofi. The two of them saddle around the car, Theo doing his best to clear a path through the small space between it and the house. Rofi looks back at me once, then turns away when he realizes I'm already looking at him. They vanish into the backyard, and I turn my full attention to shoveling. Despite his aversion to cold, Ollie is good with a shovel, clearly an odd hand at his. He and I manage to clear most of the bottom half of the driveway when Artemis and Hunter arrive, carrying stout metal shovels on their shoulders. Where we dropping, boys? You did not just say that. Theo needs us to clear the driveway, so maybe we can move the car, and then a decent path across the street to number 30. I indicate the well-lit house across the street. He's going to carry her out, so... Say no more! Hunter immediately takes to shoveling with enthusiasm, and Artemis quickly follows, cutting efficiently across the snow-choked street. At that moment, Theo re-emerges from behind the car and begins making his way to number 30, pausing only to slap Hunter on the back and give Artemis a nod. I feel a tug on my sleeve. Hey, Brandon? I don't want to tell you what to do, but if you wanted to go inside and help Rofi, the three of us have it covered out here. I blink, surprised. Shovel halfway stuck in the snow? It's just... I could tell he was pretty nervous about having to handle her alone, and you kept looking at him, so I figured... I mean, honestly, yes. The moment Ollie offered me the possibility, it became the only thing I wanted. Are you sure you'll be all right? Just the three of you? We're better off out here than he is in there. I think he could use another set of paws at the very least. I heave the last heap of snow off to the side and jam my shovel upright into it. Thanks, Ollie. Of course, just go. With one thankful nod, I start trudging towards the house. All of a sudden, the urgency hiding just below the surface breaks through, and I find myself almost racing through the snowbanks and through the rickety old gate. There's the door just ahead. I turn the handle with an unwelcoming squeak and force my way inside. Oh, it's so quiet now. I feel awkward. My air conditioner's off and the rain winds are gone. Interesting. The combined stench of cigarettes and mildew hits me like a wall. Deep breaths, Brandon. I swallow a bundle of hacking, smoke-choked coughs, Okay, maybe shallow breaths are best. I make my way through the small entryway and into the living room. As I enter, a gruff, hoarse voice greets me.
Who's this?
I'm going with it. That's the voice. I spot the two of them immediately. The old woman glares at me from her ancient armchair, thin, pale, and trembling, one milky eye staring off past me into forever. Rofi turns to me with something approaching full-blown panic, contained only barely by his professional demeanor. Diana, this is my friend Brandon. He's here to help. In fact, he arrived just in time.
More help? Not sure how much more help I can take right about now.
I promise, we're doing our best to get you somewhere warm.
Your best, huh?
She laughs, a sound like marble on a cheese grater. Brandon, can I talk to you for a moment?
Listen here, pup. If you're going to talk about me, you might as well do it right in front of me.
I'm glad I came with... I just need a moment. Okay. Locking in. I can't. I tried to lock in, but I gotta laugh. Look at her face. I just can't. Oh. I don't. It's not even funny. I just can't right now. I just can't sometimes. Whew. Okay, we're locking in. For real. I'm glad I came when I did. The vibes in here are absolutely rancid. Somehow, maintaining his calm, Rofi turns to me fully. I'm very concerned for her. She's been sitting here drinking for days. The old woman scoffs loudly. Interrupting him, Rofi presses on. I was just in the middle of speaking to her when... Diana, do you mind showing Brandon here your hand? She removes her thin arm from her pocket.
You still worried about this?
Her bony hand jerks rhythmically, back and forth. This started happening. She stuffs her jittery hand back out of sight with a dismissive huff. I don't know if this is a tremor, some kind of weird Parkinson's thing, or... I realize my question falls on deaf ears. The dog is clearly deep in thought. As I observe his expression, echoes of my incident yesterday send a chill through my spine and down to my footpaw. Rofi? Yes, sorry. He turns back to address the frail lady. Diana, has this kind of movement ever happened before?
What, like in my life? Hell, I've probably lived 4 times as long as you. You expect me to remember everything?
Without missing a beat, Rofi continues his line of questioning, trying to specify. Have you ever noticed your arms shaking like this? Maybe you were diagnosed with a movement disorder at some point in your life? She ignores him, her shaking hand now occupied with digging around underneath the chair cushion. Diana, I need you to work with me. Do you have any medical condition that you're aware of? She conjures a beaten-up old flask from the chair and knocks it back before tossing it onto the floor. Empty. Rofi keeps his eye on her, unaffected by her behavior.
I've got diabetes.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Rofi nods and pulls me aside. I really doubt her medical history is that clean, but we'll work with what we have. I think this could be some kind of diabetic expiration, especially if all she's been consuming is alcohol. But I'm still hopeful it's a benign movement disorder. Or, then again, it could be something more sinister, maybe a medication-induced. I need to see what she's taking. Actually, now that I think about it, if she's been drinking a while, it could also be some sort of acute liver issue, like hepatic encephalitis. But then again, if that were the case, the asterisks would present ballisterally. I'm sorry, those are big words. I've tried 10 times reading this one. We're just going to move forward. I give him a blank stare as he trails off. Okay. What's the plan? Sorry, I'll curb the jargon. I think the first step here is to get the blood glucose level. It'll be quick and be able to help me rule out the causes for what's happening. Rofi looks at me, seemingly expecting a response. I blink back at him thoroughly, unaware of what to say. Sure, that sounds good to me. You're the doctor here, after all. The moment the words leave my mouth, I regret it. Oh, his face. Rofi visibly flinches, and the old woman scoffs again, inserting herself into the conversation like a knife through flesh.
No, he was not. He was very clear about that when he walked in.
She raises the pitch of her voice, poorly mimicking the dog.
Oh no, Mama, I'm just a physician assistant. Great. Even here on my supposed deathbed, I can't get a real doctor. How old are you anyway?
26, but that shouldn't matter to you.
You don't look any older than 20. And have they gave you a medical degree?
The dog exhales, clearly trying to let her words roll off his fur, before directing his attention back to me. She has diabetes, so she should have a monitor and needles lying around. Would you be okay to start looking for those things? Yeah, I think so. What does the monitor look like? Rofi pulls out his phone and shows me a few images. I'm honestly amazed she's this lucid. Diana calls from the couch.
I'm old, but I'm not deaf. They say to teach you manners in medical school.
Rofi winces, but doesn't take the bait. Okay, why don't you go ahead and look for those supplies? I'll try to continue my workup. We both turn around to face her, and right as we prepare to split off, he freezes. It doesn't take long for me to figure out why. In a few minutes, we took our eyes off of Diana. The jerking movement spread to her arm. We look at each other, and I see a new emotion in his eyes. Fear. Diana? His voice breaks. Rofi clears his throat and tries again. Diana, it looks like the movements are progressing up your arm. Is it okay if I try to suppress them?
Knock yourself out. If I don't knock you out first.
Her immediate assent surprises me. Maybe she's finally starting to realize the gravity of her situation. Rofi kneels next to her and presses his paws down against her arm. But the tremors don't stop. He tries a few more seconds, then gets back up. Diana, can you still hear me? All she does is glare at him, but she clearly can. Rofi and I make eye contact again, and I start to see the panic set in. Brandon, I think she might be having a focal seizure. It's a kind of seizure that can start in one place and spread through the rest of your body. I need you to grab the glucose and a monitor and... As if it couldn't get more chaotic, Theo interrupts the disaster in motion by banging open the door and clomping inside. His eyes are steely and wild, and his hackles are clearly raised. All right, are we ready to go? His voice has a harsh, husky quality to it, as if he just finished yelling. He raises a quick look at the scene, at the old woman still in her slippers, and realizes we are, in fact, not ready to go. His brow furrows more deeply. What's the problem? Rofi speaks in a low voice, though I can't tell if it's to keep Diana out of the loop or to try and calm Theo.
Theodore, who is this child you said was a doctor?
So much for keeping her out of the loop. No, I didn't. I said I was like a doctor.
Unbelievable.
Theo ignores her and turns to Rofi again, taking another step into the room, tackling huge piles of snow on ancient carpet. Rofi, what's going on? The Robinsons are ready. Theo's tone catches me off guard, and it clearly does the same to Rofi. The dog starts stumbling over his words, gesturing alternatively at himself, me, and Diana. I understand that. I'm trying to get a finger stick because I'm concerned for... Is this absolutely necessary? Because we don't have time for anything that isn't absolutely necessary. Tom gave me the dump truck's worth of shit just now, and I just want to get her across the street before he changes his mind. The ewe pipes up, staunchly refusing to be left out.
What in the hell did you bother Tom for? That rat bastard always hated me.
Theo ignores her, directing his gaze and words only at Rofi. So unless we've got a real reason for the delay, I'm taking her now. Then another first. Something clicks in Rofi. His voice rings out sharp and deliberate as a shrapnel. Well then, Theo, why don't you tell me why her arm is shaking like that? He gestures exasperately towards Diana's worsening arm tremor. Theo's eyes flicker towards Deanna and then back to Rofi. I am trying to figure the situation out, but I can't when I'm being constantly interrupted. Alright then, Theo interrupts. Figure it out. Diana, where is your glucose monitor? The one that you use to check your sugar for your diabetes? She eyes Rofi with explicit hostility.
I don't know. Damn thing hardly ever worked anyways.
Theo interrupts again, scowling.
Where is it, Deanna?
She scolds right back.
Don't you dare barge into my house and take that tone with me. If I had to guess, it probably was with the rest of the medical shit in the bathroom. Or the kitchen, maybe.
Theo opens his mouth to retort, but Rofi quickly takes the reins back from him. Okay, Brandon, look for her monitor. Theo, I need you to grab anything with sugar in it. Check the fridge for juice. Also, Brandon, if she has any sleeping medication like benzo, grab that too. What is diazepam, lorazepam, anything that ends in pam? It'll be a bottle of pills. They aren't the priority, but I need them if she doesn't stop seizing. I need everything else now. Theo interjects, saving me from having to ask any more follow-up questions. I know what those look like, Brandon. I'll look for them. Rofi just nods, dismissing us both, before redirecting his attention to Diana. I'm not used to seeing Theo take a supportive role in a crisis and form the expression on his face. Neither is he. But I'm glad to see him settle into it. Whether he realized it or not, he was making things worse. Okay, Diana, try to stay awake and focus on my voice. I'm going to ask you a few questions, alright? The fox brushes past both of us, and I take my cue to exit too, leaving the dog to fend for himself with the old sheep. She's more of a goat, she's got some horns. After extracting myself from the scene, I quickly locate and stumble into the bathroom. I throw the medicine cabinet open and surprisingly find exactly what I'm looking for, the monitor and a ripped open plastic package full of finger sticks. In fact, half the finger sticks spill out into the sink when I open the door as a result of the package being shoved violently into the overflowing cabinet. Really can't worry about that right now. I make my way back to the living room, Rofi still kneeling and holding Diana's arm as it repeatedly seizes. Theo is already back, sitting on the floor, clutching a bottle of pills in one paw and several juice boxes in the other. Damn, how fast did Theo move? He beat me back here? Rofi's ears perk up as he hears me re-enter the room. Good, pass the supplies here. He practically snatches the monitor and finger sticks out of my paws and sets them on the floor. Okay, Diana, I'm gonna take your blood sugar. He gently grips her non-seizing arm. Just a little prick, sorry. She winces as Rofi uses one of the finger stick needles to draw a drop of blood. He carefully holds her arm as she turns around. Alright, I need the reading strip now. I freeze, staring at Rofi's outstretched paw. Is he talking to me? He never mentions reading strips, did he? The dog scans what I've brought him and realizes it's not here. I can see the frustration start to bubble up in him, though he does well to keep it out of his tone. Brandon, go back to where you found the monitor and look for the reading strips. They should be in the package. His expression, though, isn't convincing. I didn't think those warm blue eyes were capable of turning cold and hollow as they were right now. Yeah, sorry. I scamper out of the living room again, berating myself for being useless. As I throw the bathroom cabinet open once more, I quickly spot the strips sitting neatly in a cup, a few shelves down from the monitor spot. I extricate the cup, knocking a few more bottles into the already junk-filled sink. I still don't have time to worry about that. I hear yelling from the other room, Diana's voice. I grab them and speed back to Rofi, who seems more frustrated now.
Baby-faced kid who's stabbing me. Can't even tell me what's wrong. I'll sue you for this, I swear to God.
Oh, give it a rest, Diana. How many times have you threatened to sue me? I'm still waiting on that summons. Amazingly, that coaxes out something like a laugh.
Don't get cocky, whelp. I'll see you in court yet for what you did to my boiler.
Rofi takes the strips from me wordlessly, turning back to the angry sheep. Diana, I'm going to have to re-prick you.
Really? Again? All you're doing is sticking me with needles and
And I need to do it again, because you yanked your arm away from me and lost the blood I was going to test. His voice is slightly raised, patience clearly wearing thin. Now, if you'd like me to figure out what's going on, he glares at her, and not have me stick you a third time, I need you to work with me here. Diana shoots a venomous look at the dog, but stays quiet. He sets the monitor down next to her and pricks her again. Okay, stay still. He quickly captures the drop of blood in the paper strip and inserts it into the machine. Seconds tick by like eternities, and then 20. Bingo! Hypoglycemic. Theo, clearly following Rofi more than I am, holds up an open juice box. Here, Diana, drink this. He holds the straw up to her mouth and she starts sipping it. My eyes can't help but stick to the expiration date printed on the back. 3 months ago? Can't really worry about that right now either. The dog explains to us as she finishes the juice box, arm still shaking aggressively. Severe low blood sugar can trigger a seizure activity in the brain. It's one of the first things that we test as a seizure happens because it's easily fixed. And those kinds of seizures tend to respond really quickly to sugar. He continues holding the sheep's arm. The movement should start to slow down soon. Diana, are you feeling any better? Through gritted teeth, she gets out a response. No.
You should have called the damn hospital.
I remember you telling me not to. Let's just wait a little longer. Here, have another juice box. You should start responding soon. All eyes are on Diana now, everyone waiting with a bated breath as she finishes the second box. Rofi's eyes glued to the clock hanging on the wall, paws still on Diana's seizing arm. Rofi? He doesn't hear me, though we're next to each other. Rofi, what? Theo, what meds did you grab? The fox startles, clearly having wandered off into his own thoughts. It's diazepam? Dosage? Theo fiddles with the bottle. 1 milligram. Give me 2, please. The dog holds out his paw and receives the medication. Diana, if your arm continues to shake for another minute, I'm going to have you take your sleeping medication. It should help, but it will make you really drowsy. Nothing from her, just a look that could freeze lava. The next minute crawls slower than ever, every single tick of the second hand marked by Rofi's flinty eyes. He reaches for more juice, leaving her arm to shake. All right, I need to administer this. Diana, could you take these meds? She reaches out with her good arm and starts to grab the pills. Wait! Theo reaches out physically and stops her. I think they're calming down. Hold on just a moment, Diana. Rofi freezes, then directs his attention back to her arm. Even to my untrained eye, it looks improved. Just a small tremor remains. He makes eye contact with the old awe. Do you feel better, Diana? Are you feeling okay?
Sure. Maybe. I guess. A little.
We remain silently, completely unconvinced.
Yes. All right. Yes, I feel better.
Good. Rofi slips the meds back into the bottle with a clatter. I'm sorry, Theo, you were right. The improvement is marked.
Maybe I should take the meds anyway?
I can see her eyeing the bottle. No, I'd rather not administer them to you if you don't have to. You've been drinking quite a lot. She bristles, though clearly some of the fight has left her after the episode.
And I've been drinking longer than you've been alive.
Rofi hesitates. Do you often take these while under the influence?
Like I said, I'm not some kind of idiot child. I know my limits.
Okay, never mind. She's as venomous as ever. Rofi sighs softly and slips the benzos into his pocket. Okay, well, we can talk about that later. Your seizures seem to have subsided, at least. Theo clears his throat. In that case, we need to prepare to head out. The Robinsons are waiting. All right, I'm going to stay here with you, Diana.
What a treat.